the Netflix animated series Tomb Raider, we see a character that most in the gaming community are very familiar with, Lara Croft. And throughout the series, we see Lara dealing with a lot of grief. And I use the phrase dealing with loosely, because Lara is completing adventures, throwing herself into danger, running from everyone who loves her because she's scared of losing them. Today on Geek Devotions, we're going to be talking about how there is a time for everything. Hello and welcome to Geek Devotions, the show from devoted geeks who are devoted to letting people know that they are loved. I am Celeste, and if you are watching this and it is not November 1st, this is a live recording of our devotion because we had technical issues. Dallas is going to be doing some work on the back end to make this super cool for y'all. Kudos to all of the people who are watching right now as we are live. Thank you for witnessing me doing this again. So if you are watching this, if you don't watch past this point, know that you are loved and you are cared for. And there's a plan and a purpose for your life. Okay, let's get into the devotion. Like I said in the intro, Lara is grieving. She's so scared of losing the people that she misses, that she won't let death stop hurting. Like, she won't let the pain and the trauma from their death go, because she's scared that if she does, then that means that they're not there anymore. Grief is one of those things that everybody deals with. Everybody struggles with this. It's a part of life. And not everybody can save the world using stones of power to get through it. It's just not an option for everybody. In Ecclesiastes, we see a great example of this. Ecclesiastes 3:1-8 says this: "There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under heaven. A time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather them, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to search and a time to give up, a time to speak or to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be silent and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace." So Solomon, the author of Ecclesiastes, was having a really bad day. Like, this book, the book of Ecclesiastes, is notoriously depressing because Solomon is near the end of his life and he's looking back on everything, seeing all that he's done and realizing what was important and what wasn't, and some of the things he chased after weren't important. But in this chapter, he is reminding himself that while everything sucks right now, it's a moment. It is a singular moment in his life. And it's one of those things that while everything is bad right now, that there are times for grief and death and war, there's also time for joy and for life and for peace. There's the good moments in life, and sometimes the bad things can overwhelm, especially when it comes to grief, because that is such a hard thing to get through. But it's one of those things that God is always there. You may not choose to acknowledge him, but he is always there. In the show, Laura's friend Jonah was there, and he was following her, even though she was running from him because she didn't want to lose him or to admit what was going on. And similar to that, not exact, but similar to that, God is always there for us. It's just a matter of if we choose to acknowledge him and to accept his comfort. And sometimes that means accepting comfort and help from the people of God. There's a flip side to all of this of when you are a person who is seeing somebody go through something, being there for them, sitting with them, talking with them, just helping them through things. And sometimes, sometimes you just don't know what to say. And that's okay. Because sometimes you don't need to say anything. Sometimes you just need to sit and let someone cry. I cannot tell you how comforting it is to just sit with someone and them let you cry. Get it all out. Be there with you while you're doing it. While you're grieving, just sitting there with you. And, if you happen to have chocolate chip cookies afterwards, more's the better. But I digress. As the people of God, we have a responsibility to be with others who are going through things, who are in pain, who are grieving, who are celebrating, who are in the time of joy and laughter. But there's also a onus on us when we are the people who are going through things, of accepting the help and accepting that somebody wants to be there for you. And it's really God and then the people of God. If they're doing it right, they want to be there. Okay guys, that was your devotion for the week. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to share this out with someone you think needs to hear it. Like, comment, subscribe, all the things, but also a big shout out to all of our patrons, which, if you are not watching the live video, will be somewhere around here. It goes around my face somehow. Dallas works magic. I don't know. It's a thing. So, and don't forget that for as little as $1 a month, you can be one of those devoted patrons and help us do what we do as well as we do it. Also, if you can't afford to support us, we get it, we understand, but there are things you can do, like watching our videos all the way to the end. You can like and comment, that helps. You can share the videos, and the biggest thing that helps is pray for us. We need prayer all the time, so we would always appreciate that. Okay guys, well, it's now time for the question of the week. Question of the week is this: what is your favorite iteration of Lara Croft? Could be games, could be movies, could be show. I really enjoyed the new Netflix show, but my favorite Lara Croft is the Angelina Jolie one. I know that's not hugely popular, but that is my favorite. Okay guys, well, with all that being said, stay devoted, peace and love.